welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Chantelle and this is the Knotty Loop. We're at the Mission Store again in Bedford. Go see what we can find. So today I think I'm gonna see if I can find a sweater to take apart. I saw Hollyana doing it and it just looks like so much fun. So I think that's the mission at the Mission Store for today, is to go and find some natural fibers. So for bamboo or cotton or wools, you know, so all of those natural fibers, and see what we can find. Okay, let's get started. So this is my favorite section because they actually put like all the cutest knickknacks on the shelf. So when you come in, you gotta check here first. And so many neat things. Okay, so here's the crafts section, which is a lot of new yarns in here. Even some projects that are already being finished. So the thrift store was a good time. I went to the Mission Store in Bedford. That's Nova Scotia. I don't know if anybody here has been there. It's probably my favorite thrift store around to go to. I went to this other one over in Halifax, and it said Mission on it. But when I went in, the prices were crazy. We're talking a donated coat, and it was like $50. So I don't think that was the same kind of Mission thrift store. Anyways, I love the Bedford one, and I ended up finding some good finds. So I thought we would come back and we would take apart one of the sweaters, and I'll show you how to do it, and we'll see how much yarn we get out of that. We'll even weigh it up. We'll see how that goes. So we had a storm overnight. We had a nor'easter come in and dump like probably, I don't know, maybe 12 inches of snow. So it's super bright outside. So it's a perfect day for filming, really. And I had a great weekend. My daughter came down from New Brunswick, and it was my mom's birthday. And I shot some footage of that. It was awesome to go there. We went out for lunch. We went to a Vietnamese restaurant, but the wall hanging that my dad made for her was just gorgeous. All the different woods from all of these different locations. She's actually drawing out the pattern and then going to label all the woods and where they're from. So she has all the information for her to hang right beside it. She's such a little artist herself. And yeah, so that was a great time. My mom loved it, and the presents were awesome. And yeah, so we just had a great time. So we should get started today, though, so we have lots to do. But we should get on with it today. And okay, so I got this book at the Mission Store right here. I'm going to be very careful because I do have to glue the binding back together. There is a split in it. I also think there's a couple pages missing. It seems like we go from page 45 to 99 very quickly, but it's still gorgeous, and I thought I would show you guys a couple of the pictures in it. So what my mom said was they would get a order form and order a couple of these, and then you would get it in the mail like 4 times a year, I believe. Look at these patterns. I'm obsessed. I can't wait to try some of these out. I couldn't believe that was there. And even a little mouse toy for your cat. Look at these pillows. Oh, look at the little. And yeah, so I'm just really excited about this book. I think it'll be a nice one to display in my new office/studio. And I thought we would try some of the patterns out in maybe a little series. We'll pick out a couple. And look, there's amigurumi. Look at that duck face. Can we zoom? I can't wait. And look at the slippers. And like, this is really why I bought it. Like, that is gorgeous. Like, could you imagine doing that and putting that up, even on the wall or on a couch? I don't even know. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So I'm super obsessed with this, and What a good find. So here's the sweater I ended up picking up. Very nice. Look at how much yarn this is gonna be. So I found this in the men's section. I also found another one, but I already started taking it apart. I couldn't wait. I was just so impatient. It's 100% cotton. I'm not in love with cotton. It does end up hurting my hands, but I figure we could probably make a bag out of it or use it with our scrap material to do baskets. So I'm not too sure, but I already started taking some of that out and I already have like 3 balls of yarn. So I paid $9 for each of these. So this one actually has wool in it, and we have 35% viscous, 25% wool, 20% cotton, and 20% polyester. So there's some stretch in it and both ways, and it's a little softer, but it still has that wool-like texture. I've already pre-washed these and I laid them out flat to dry, so we're starting with a good clean product. So the idea is that when you're picking these out and you go to the thrift store, that you want to make sure a couple things. The big one is whether your product is serged or not. So what that means is they have a sewing machine that cuts and sews at the same time. And that is serged right there. So you can see that. So that's what that does, and that's okay because that's the only spot that this one is serged. So you can see here that that is not the same, and it's just been sewn on, so you just have to kind of get this braided part out. And all the pieces will start coming apart, and then you just have to take the cast off. Say that again. The cast off of it. Yeah, so let's have fun and see where we get. And you get your seam ripper. So what we're gonna do is we are gonna start with, we can start down here, you know, it's not a big deal. You can see that there is this extra row that's coming through. Where are we? We are here. So there's this extra row and you can see the V's. Basically, that's what you're taking apart. But you can get it where you can get one thread and take the whole sleeve apart. So let's see if we can get it. It's not that easy. Sometimes I got it and sometimes I didn't. But this one is actually separating really nicely. So I think we're going to get this one a lot easier. And you don't want to break the wrong threads, which is why I already tried it out and I couldn't wait anyways. You know, when you get in that mode where you're just like so excited, it was finally dry, but this one wasn't dry, so I couldn't film. And I'm sitting there at night. My daughter now has left and gone home, and I was just like, I'm itching. Like, I need to take this apart. So I was like, you know what? Maybe it's a little bit of practice before I really get started. And what's wrong with that? So I sat on my couch and I started pulling it apart, and oh, was it satisfying. And the sound of the cotton. I will do some for you, some little ASMR, ASMR stuff for you guys because the sound was great and it was very satisfying to do. So let's see if it's on the other sweater, it was at the end of the sleeve. So I'm sitting there digging the armpit out, trying to find this one thread that I could pull to make that satisfying. The whole sleeve gets to come apart, and I couldn't get it. So now I'm trying it down here, and I bet you it will be up there, right? That's always the way. So let's see here. So we're going to pull this thread here, I think, is the one. Nope, nope. Oh, maybe. There we go. Ready? So go like this and, oh, come on. Oh, give me the satisfying stuff. Ugh, it stopped. There we go. Oh, there's some halo on this one, so maybe it won't be as good as the cotton. Oh, but that is the one. So you just gotta undo the knot, the back, so when the sewing machine goes, or yeah, because this would be a machine that does it, it kind of goes up and then it goes reverse. So you just want to get that where that reverse is broken, and then you can get that one satisfying thread eventually. But unfortunately, this stuff has a halo, so it'll be a tiny bit more work, but it's going. See? This one's going to be a little at a time. So every sweater is going to be different because every, manufacturer is going to be different. So just know that before going in, there's going to be little things that are different about each one, but basically you want to make sure that you're not cutting any of these threads is the idea, because these are all in a continuous line. That's the difference about knitting and crochet, right? Crochet, you are pretty much knotting each and every stitch that you're doing. Where knitting, you're going along with a thread, you're making little loops, and you're just basically weaving your other one in and out of that loop. So as soon as you cut one of those, that's it. But the good part is about knitting is that when you make a mistake, you can actually go down one way, all the way down, fix your mistake, and go all the way back up. You definitely can't do that with crochet. So, okay, we're getting somewhere on this sleeve. Okay, so we've made it down to the armpit now. That one's right there. Okay. There we go. All right, that's a little more. I think we're done with this one though. I think that's a knot right there. That's okay. So we'll just get this untangled. See which ones. Oh, look, see, sometimes you got to pull the ends because that's the end now to this seam here for the other part of the arm. So now we've separated that, and we might actually still get, look, I wasn't done with it. See, I didn't even end up breaking any more threads. So, just working your way, stretching it through it, seeing where, because this yarn's looks like a little different. So you can see the two yarn threads, so you can see it when you're going in this, that it's a little bit different. And then we got to start thinking about what are we going to make with all of this beautiful yarn we're going to get. We could make another wearable, or maybe a beautiful scarf and hat set. Oh no, we're stuck. Oh no, what happened? We were on a roll. So you know what's going to be really fun about this? I don't have a ball winder. I know. Well, I do have a ball winder, and I will bring it out. You will see. But it's not like a huge ball winder. I 3D printed it. So it's very small. So we'll try it out for kicks, but I'm not thinking it's going to be very successful helping, really. So what is everybody working on right now? I want to see all your projects and what you're going to be doing for the new year. And yeah, share it in the comments below. I would love to hear about it. I finally finished the end of Stranger Things. I'm not gonna do any spoilers or anything like that, but I don't know. I loved it. I love how they ended it, and I don't think I would have changed anything. So I don't know how everyone else felt about it, but I thought it was great. I was very pleased with the whole series. A little bit more. Find those threads that are holding us back. I was breaking all the other ones. I'm not breaking them. I'm just spreading some of it apart. I just kind of use the back of the seam ripper where it's not sharp, just to pull it through if you don't want to break them. There we go. We got it. It was just because of the tag. It was extra stitches. So, what do we got now? We got, look, all together. Let's just do it on the other side, right? So again, same thing, kind of just find that one that's looping them together and just break that piece there. Start separating some of the pieces. There's fluffy fibers everywhere. And when you're going to buy these, by the way, at the thrift store, you really got to make sure that they are not already felted. If you don't know what that means, basically that the amount of wool that's in it is going to make it in the wash the fibers connect together. And then that's going to give it a look where you can't see the definition, see the halo in it, but you would really not see the definition in the stitches. Those fibers are not going to pull apart, and you're not going to be able to take out a already felted item. So when you're at the thrift store, make sure that it's, you know, this isn't badly felted or anything. You can see all clearly. It's just haloed a little, but it only has 20% wool. So that's probably why. People don't, because it's from a store, like this one's American Eagle and stuff like that, they still have 100% or 50% wool items, and they just throw them in the wash and then they get felted. So that's amazing. This is gonna be so much yarn, guys, like really. So I think we should probably take out, so this is the problem with doing something that's, I learned with the cardigan. So I bought a cardigan, and what ended up happening was on the ribbing, it has buttonholes. So those buttonholes are now broken threads, and so it's not connected. So you're just gonna get strands that are only a couple feet, which isn't the greatest. So same with this one. This one is made in a round, probably, I'm sure of it, and then cut. So these may not be connected. So we are going to see. There's so much here that won't really matter too much. And we can keep the zipper. And I got 4 buttons off of the cardigan, so that was great. So I'm going to take out this zipper here. So I'm just going to start at the base here and just start. This is serged on the end here. You can see it's cut. And that's just sewn on with a sewing machine, so they're just normal threads. So that one's super easy to see. So I really hope you guys like this kind of video. I haven't done a tutorial like this before, and let me know what you think, and please subscribe so then you don't miss any content that I do put out. And that's one side of the zipper. So I'm just continuing on the there we go. Zipper is that serge section. So we'll go to the serge section here. Oh, I guess we'll take off these arms. So we already saw this thread here. So that's the end. Yeah, so you can see, I'll show you again. Sorry, I quickly, that little end section right here. That's the end. So this must be the beginning. And that's because the sewing machine has let it run out, and then you cut it. That's how we know which end. And then this one, well, here. We got it already. Oh, that one rips really far. That was nice. So now we got the junction point again, and we're gonna just try to work our way through that. Let's see what we got. There we go. All right, we have taken off one of the sleeves. Let's do the other one. So we're gonna look for the end versus the beginning. Grab the end again, and that won't do much. Ta-da! This is going very well. So now we have another sleeve. The serged area. So what are we going to do here? So I think the easiest way to do this part is just to cut it. So because you can see here, so it's been each one has been cut off. See, each one of these aren't loops right here. They're just cut pieces. So what I'm doing, we're going to cut this part off here. And we're just going to cut off this serged section here. And just that serged section. We'll do the other side. There we go. All right. Okay, so I got the collar mostly off. I had to leave this part on because it was just attached to there and I haven't quite figured that part out yet. And then the other section is all, I just have to take the tag off and then that can be done too. Basically, there's a cast on and a cast off. This is the cast off. In the beginning, it's the cast on. So you just have to take, so basically what they do is they take the loop and they put another loop over top of the loop and then you knit and take that off. Yeah. So each one is looped into the next one. So it's a little twisty in there, so it does take some time to up here. So you just kind of work through the threads, finding the ends, and then it will, sometimes it will pull off really nicely, like I'm shocked that it is today. And then sometimes you have to work like each stitch in and out. This one's working quite well, but you have to separate the stitches because of the halo on them. So just keep separating, pulling, separating, pull, separate, pull. Cast on. There you go. Cast off is off. Woohoo! And now you can see we have all our threads. See? Okay, I'm going to take out my tiny little yarn winder out that I 3D printed and we're going to see if it's going to work, which I don't know if it's going to because of the pull, but I don't mind doing it by hand too. Okay, so here is my little winder that I 3D printed. Hey, it works. So probably overall that took about 3 hours to do a sleeve, take apart the sweater and ball it up. And our finished result, we got 76 grams of new yarn to us. So that's great. And I still have all of this left. And don't forget, I have, because there's a pattern, there's a whole nother ball of yarn together with it. So that's just so much yarn I'm going to be able to use to repurpose to something else. So I really hope you like this video. Thank you for joining me today. Please subscribe and like this video and comment below what you thought. And let me know which thrift stores are your favorite around. Okay, see you next time. Bye.